Hey friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead. Remember when I made the shepherd's pie and I made extra potatoes? Well, this is what we're going to make. We are going to make fish cakes tonight. And for that, you're going to need 1 can of sockeye salmon, 1 can of tuna, some Parmesan cheese, an egg, some onions, some mayonnaise, 2 cups of mashed potatoes, or 2½, and some minced garlic. Now the reason you see me using this canned fish is because I'm rotating my food storage and my home canned stuff is not up for rotation yet. So first, let's get these out of the way. Boy, I tell you, that article I read on onions sparked a lot of debate, but we're not going to talk about it right now. Let's just suffice it to say that in our house, onions and garlic are a mainstay. Let's just get the heads off of here. And we'll just get these all, lots of onions. We cut the bottoms and the tops off. But I'm using green onions or shallots for the simple reason is A, they have natural antibiotic properties. B, they're pretty. And C, they have a wonderful delicate flavor that I want in my fish cakes. So, there's our onions. Let's get those into the bowl. No, Penny, Mommy's not got anything here for you. Don't eat that. You don't like onions. All right, there is, I'm going to say about 1.5 cups of diced green onions. Let's get our mashed potatoes in there that I saved in the jar from last night. Oops. I need a paper towel there. Have a nice cheers. Oh, tea. And tea tastes best in bone china, my friends. All right, we have our 2½ cups of potatoes, our 1.5 cups of green onions, our can of salmon. I have drained the juice out of this. That's why my dogs are going crazy sniffing all around. They've had their fish juice and now they're looking for things to drop on the floor. Not lovely. It's going to be a lovely combination of color. I used to love fish cakes when I was a girl, but you know, I have a feeling these are going to taste so much better because, well, they're not mass produced. Okay, what's next? Well, let's pop our egg in there. And before we use that spoon for anything else, let's get a nice dollop of mayonnaise. Not salad dressing, folks. Real mayonnaise. Let's put in, oh, I don't know. Whoops. About 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. And about, let's say, 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. I'm going to get my spoon. Well, let's use this. And we're just going to start mixing. Already it smells delicious. Now, if you have breadcrumbs, when you make these patties, because they seem to be, they're going to be a little bit on the soft side. But if you make these patties and you have breadcrumbs, you may want to coat them in breadcrumbs. You know what, folks? I don't think I'm going to make fish cakes at all. I think I'm going to make a fish, let's call it a fish puff. Let's get the casserole dish because you know what? This looks so much better than just plain old fish cakes. You're going to experience a new recipe. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, folks, a quick transformation of tonight's menu. We're not making fish cakes. We're making a fish puff. Why is it called a fish puff? Because I'm hoping it'll pop up in the oven. This is not a recipe folks, this is just something I'm just doing on the fly. So here is our potatoes, onions, mayonnaise, Parmesan cheese, garlic, tuna, and salmon. And if I've forgotten anything, you can let me know. And we're just going to scoop this into our casserole dish that I have buttered. And while I was off camera getting this casserole dish and buttering it, I put in the food processor with an S blade an English muffin. You can use a slice of bread or you can use breadcrumbs, but I put an English muffin, a quarter cup of Parmesan cheese, and a tablespoon of butter. And it's made this kind of gooey crumble topping, but we're just going to crumble this. It's not really gooey, it's just not dry. The reason I put the butter in it is so that it doesn't necessarily scorch or dry out too much. Hopefully it will become a nice golden brown. So I'm going to pop this. I'm going to put a lid on it for starters. And I'm going to pop it in the fridge for, for about an hour. And then we're going to pop this in the oven. Oh, that's good. At 350 degrees for about, I don't know, 25 minutes or so. And hopefully this will do the new name justice and puff up a little bit, and these crumbs will be golden brown and it'll be fabulous. Here's hoping. Okay folks, I'm going to pop this in the oven with the lid on for the first 10 or 15 minutes because I don't want to overcook the crumble topping. Alright, and then in about 15 minutes I'll take the top off and let it cook for another 15 minutes, and Bob's your uncle, we will have supper. We'll see you at the table. My, look at that. I think I'm on to something. Let's get Papa to the table. Alrighty. Papa's home from work and he's in his comfies. And he's hoping for hockey to start, which we doubt it will. Now let's try this wonderful recipe I've designed called fish puff. Well, it smells delicious. It's been driving me nuts for the last half hour. That's some breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese mixed with butter. Why do you pepper everything before you taste it? Habit. You should taste things first. It's very hot. It's a new recipe. Yeah?
Yeah, very good.
Add it to the roster. Awesome. This, folks, this fish puff is amazingly delicious. There you go. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead saying it was going to be fish cakes, but it turned into a new recipe called fish puff. Don't be afraid to be creative with everyday ingredients. Bye.